The clock is ticking. There is a deadline tomorrow. The grace period will expire for that $650 million worth of coupon and principal payments. We understand, based off of breaking news this morning, that at least one clearinghouse has received and processed those payments. Where do we stand with this? Do you think it is likely that Russia is going to be able to avoid default here since it's tapped its dollar reserves?
Well, let's set it straight, this Watergate. I mean, if we're talking about what's going on in Russia, it's the correspondent bank, Bank of New York Mellon, which has actually passed the money through to Citigroup, which is the paying agent. Now, Citigroup needs to get approval from the UK and the US regulators, OFAC, in order to pass those payments on to creditors. That may take time because what Citi has to do is verify that those funds came from a non-sanctioned, non-blocked account, right? So for me, yeah, even if there is a delay on tomorrow's grace period deadline, I still think they'll have a little bit of wiggle room to get that money to creditors. So you're right. It looks like Russia's going to avoid a default, an external default, their first since 1918. But what's the willingness of Putin, of Russia, to continue down this path, to continue paying? I'm suspect on that. So I'm not saying that a default is inevitable, but I mean, certainly highly likely. What's interesting about those 2022 bonds that they did make the payment on, 25 cents on the dollar prior to it, now it's trading at 90 cents on the dollar. If you look at Russia 5-year CDS, it was pricing in like a 99.9% probability of default. That's fallen to like 95%. On a 1-year basis, though, the probability of default has fallen from like 98% to 50%. So Russia may manage to avoid default this year, but the verdict is still out, and certainly creditors are waiting to receive their funds.